All right, Aries, welcome to your reading. I'm Empress Rose. These are very general readings, of course, so take what works for you, leave what doesn't. And also check your sun, moon, rising, Venus, major placements for other information on other aspects of what might be going on, what other perspectives on it from different parts of yourself. So these are all pre-shuffled and prepared. I feel very private about it, so I do it before I turn on the camera. We're going to start with the Oracle of Mystical Moments deck to give me an intuitive vibe of where we're going with this reading. What do we have for Aries this week? The time when Aries watches this, what do we have? All right. We have, can you hear me? This is some very, last week you had a lot of secrets. This is really wanting to communicate. This is being almost submerged, having such a depth of emotion down here and wanting to talk about it and wanting to communicate about it, but not quite sure that you can, not quite sure that anyone's hearing you or can hear you. You want to reach out for some help, or you want to say something, but you're feeling a little hopeless and a little down that you're not going to be able to, that you're not allowed to, or it's not going to be good. It's not going to be worthwhile for you to reach out and really say something about what's on your mind. Not what's on your mind, what's in your heart, what's in your feelings. You're worried that this communication isn't going to be productive. We have red garden, so we have looking at your past but being a little bit blind to it. There's some rose-colored glasses here, or maybe just something. We have this, your mind is opening up, but your heart has this closure to it. It's a drooping flower that a bee's gonna have to get real curious to find out what's in there, versus this mind that's like wide open and we can all see the pollen there, like it's all there, but this is one of the more, this is more private. So there's something in your heart that feels very private to you, and you're a little bit concerned that the bees aren't going to find it, or that the world can't see it. But you want it kind of secret, but also you want it to be known. You want the world to find this flower, but also it's not a big showy flower the way your mind is a big showy flower. This is a kind of a private flower. That sounds weird, but and you want to talk about it. We have this parakeet, this talking bird on your shoulder, not saying anything, not going anywhere, and you're looking in different directions actually. So where your mind is looking is a little bit different from where your message wants to go, or what your words are. The words you're thinking about are looking for the future and are looking to the future. Your mind is looking to the past, but this message would be opening something up in the future. But you're not sure you're ready to share it. You're not sure the world is ready to hear it, or whoever you want to share it with is ready to hear it. You're not sure it's going to be helpful or useful, and you're a little bit dejected by that. Here we have Sleeping Beauty's dream. This is more on your mind. This is the mind. You have a lot on your mind here. This is a kind of a tangled little village, a little fortress up here. It's very medieval. Again, though, we have this message that you are holding on to, that you're not allowing. You have a lot on your mind. It's a little messy. It's a little brambly. You kind of need to maybe journal out some of these thoughts. And figure out what you yourself are thinking. There's this whole world up here going on in your mind, and you're not talking about it. There's a whole thing going on up there that you're not talking about. Again, these are very similar cards to last week, Aries. So I hope that you are able to sort out, find someone to talk to, about whatever it is you're holding on to, whatever it is on your mind and in your heart. Maybe if you don't feel ready to talk to the people that do need to hear the message, specifically that you want to talk to, maybe talk to an intermediary, a friend, a therapist, someone that's not, where it's not quite so loaded, and that this is kind of some heaviness here that's coming out here of something on your mind that you really, each card has is very clearly something's on your mind You're holding back communication. You're not communicating about it. Something's on your mind. You're not communicating about it. And I'm not seeing any joy, any relief, I'm seeing just a lot of heaviness here. A lot of heaviness. I mean, this is made out of stones. Like, this isn't some light, frilly thing on her mind. This is heavy. This is like a whole world on her mind. So anyway, wanting to communicate. Anyway, these are, we're moving to the Santa Muerte deck. These are pre-shuffled and prepared, and I am just doing my nervous shuffle that I do before I pull out the cards. This is Aries past, their present, their inner landscape, at issue, environment, to-do list, and this possible outcome. In your recent past, you have an emperor. You have someone who had a lot of control over your life, a lot of say. They were in charge. They'd been through some stuff themselves. They had a lot of power. They had firepower here. They were very controlling. They had the financial power. There's some situation in your past, someone who had been through some stuff was, I mean, a lot of times this has this really great vibe of a man who is self-possessed, masculine energy, who has all the money he needs, has all the power he needs, spiritually connected, is fully realized, has everything he needs. But I'm getting sort of a controlling vibe off this one, of someone who is using their power in a controlling way. But you know, that's in the reversal. And we don't have it in a reversal position here. I don't take reversals on this card. So I'm going to guess that it can go either way. There's either a masculine presence in your life in the recent past who was very self-possessed, had been through a lot, knew who they were, knew what they were about. I think for some of you, this is going to be someone who's been very controlling and had all the power in a situation and used their prior experience to lord it over you. I mean, this is drug lord energy here. This is someone controlling the purse strings, someone having just a lot of control over you in the recent past. So I'm getting both of those messages this time, so I'm listening to that. In your present situation, you have the Three of Wands. Good Lord, again, you've got this message that you want to deliver that's not being delivered yet. But you're intuitively growing. It's not very bright out. It's dark. It's night. Your little mind plants can't see the light, but they know it's up there and they're growing. So in your present situation, you're really growing even though you don't see where it's going. And you still have this message you're holding on to, but this is okay because you're growing and your mind is growing and your intuition is growing and developing. And you can't see the light, but you know it's up there and you are going to find it. You are going to move up and to find the light, and you know that you belong to the light, and you are going to be taking it in, and it's going to help you grow. So even though you're not in the light right now, you know how to come to the light. I feel like you do have this message, and you know you want to share it, and that's going to be part of your growth and part of your journey. You're holding on to it right now. There might be a book, maybe a self-help book or something like that can help you grow. Right now, you're just working on faith. You're working in the dark, and you're working on faith that you are going to get to the light, and you are going to get to this thing that's this place that's going to be light and sustain you. But right now, you're having to grow through the dark, and you're really following your intuition. You're really trusting that it's up there, that you're getting there, and that you're going to get there. So right now, there's growth without a lot of there's just intuition that somewhere up there, somewhere somewhere in your future, if you keep growing and keep learning, you're gonna get to a place of light, and you know that, and so you're keeping growing, you're keeping moving. In your inner landscape, you're ready to transform. It's just a matter of time. You have this cradle here. You have this pregnancy, this baby you're about to lay down. This is the Santa Muerte card. This is the namesake for the whole deck. This is the death card in other things. Something ends, something beginning. It's very sacred. It's divinely timed. Your inner demon becomes this lapdog. It's time for the harvest. It's time to change. So a pretty big major change is going on inside you. You will be the doorway between life and death. That's the type of change it is. Because to me, when you have a child, you are the doorway between non-existence and existence. And here she is standing into a doorway. So you are the doorway. Inside of you is the doorway that is going to transform something from non-existence to existence. This is absolutely 100% major change going on inside you. This is the biggest change possible, and it's internal, and it's going inside you. It's divinely guided. You can trust it. It's meant to be. The timing is right. The timing will be right when this change happens. You're right on the cusp of it. You're right in this doorway. You're right on this threshold. This is in your inner landscape. This is one of the most exciting cards in the deck. If you like change. If you don't like change, this is a terrifying card. There's a massive change happening inside of you. Huge. At issue is this Queen of Wands. So in the upright, this is the card that we take in the reversal meaning always. So in the upright, we have a woman who is done fighting. She can fight. She's got her sword. She's done battle. She's survived battle, and she's going home. And she doesn't really want to get fucked with on her way home. She's got her sword with her still. She's gonna cut you down if she needs to. She doesn't want to though. She left the war. She's going home. She doesn't want to be at battle. This is the reversal. So this is a female presence that is creating an issue. She's not leaving the battle behind. She's still fighting. Her words are sharp. Her ideas are sharp, but her words are sharper. She's still cutting people down. The battle's over. She should be going on her way home, but she's not. She's still in fight mode. Fight. And that's the issue going on. That's something that's holding back this transformation, and this other stuff is some sort of energy, either from you or from someone else. They still want to fight. They're ready to fight. They still are in this battle. But I'm seeing this whole thing inside of you of just being tired of the fight, tired of the battle, there's a lot of exhaustion in these cards. I mean, look at these slumped shoulders we have. Just, oh, my God. You want to communicate. You want to say what's on your mind, but you don't want to, you need to be not fighting anymore. And the way you get to being able to say what's on your mind is getting out of this war energy, getting out of this battle energy, getting out of this fight mode. So you need to put that down. You need to put your sword on your back, sheath that sword. Get that put away, that fight energy. It could be, if it's someone around you, you don't have any control over whether they're in fight mode or not. But you need to be pulling out of that. That's what this card is calling you to do, is to get out of fight mode. Leave the battle. The battle's actually over. You're just out there brandishing your sword at brambles. Just stop, put the sword down. This is what's blocking you. In your environment, you have this environment of being in your feelings. This is such an internal card, so I'm having a hard time understanding its place in your environment. The environment around you is somehow one of feeling your feelings and sorting it out. So I don't know how this makes sense, so I'm just gonna kind of talk it out here. So a battle, this might have the A battle has gone through, a storm has come through. It's dark now, the storm is dying down. The storm has filled this high desert lake that is normally a dry desert. It's filled it full of emotion and feeling, and these feelings need to be sorted out. There's a lot of looking at these feelings and looking at this water, looking at this entire lake of tears. And really looking at it and understanding it, growing from it, sorting it out, figuring out what's gone on, what happened with this storm, what happened with this thing that just kind of tore through my environment and changed everything. And now where am I? And now what am I doing? I mean, this is really looking at your environment and the situation that you find yourself in, and thinking about it, sorting it out, wondering if it's a labyrinth. There's some sort of labyrinth here. There's some sort of maze that's very very difficult to sort out and think out, oh my God, it's this card, it's this lake. Look at this. They're both looking down. They both have this. This is a labyrinth in the mind, and this is sort of a bramble up here of things that need to get sorted. So this is such an internal card, but it's showing up in your environment. So there's an environmental aspect of this, of needing to sort out what's on your mind and needing to sort out what's going on, needing to sort out what happened, needing to sort out something in your environment. There's a need to sort that out and figure it out and to get to the root of the matter. On your to-do list is this King of Cups energy. This is a leaving a garden. And this emotional part of yourself goes through the threshold. I'm seeing another threshold here. So there's definitely some threshold energy going on here as far as taking that one step that changes everything. Taking that one step through the doorway, taking that one step from one state of being to another state of being, from being one person to being another person. Taking that one step, that threshold step, and you are instinctively taking it. You're leaving some sort of garden, some sort of place that felt safe, that felt good, and you are looking back at it. You're looking at the garden, at where you've been, and some part of your heart, some part of yourself has already stepped forward, has already moved forward into the next dimension, into the next phase of your life, into the next person that you become, into the next, has left the building. Some part of you has left the building, and some part of you is still looking back and looking at it and thinking of this garden as your garden, as where you live. And this card is here to say that your heart already moved. Your heart already doesn't live here anymore. So your to-do list is, I guess, to allow your heart to take that step, to cross that threshold that your inner landscape is waiting for you to cross, that transformation. Move forward. So the Knights are very good at one thing. This Knight is very good at emotions. This Knight is very good at feeling, is very good at sorting out his feelings. So that's your to-do list, is to become very good at sorting out your feelings, very good at writing these feelings out, writing these feelings through, letting these feelings letting your feelings, we don't control them, we learn from them. So this rider is riding these feelings, and normally he's controlling them, but at this point the feeling is leading the way and the rider is working with what he's got. But the rider's not really paying attention to what the feelings are doing right now. The writer's looking to the past. So I feel like this is, the to-do list here is to cross this threshold, whether you do it with your eyes closed looking back, or whether you just, it's to let yourself move forward. To let yourself move forward. A possible outcome is this passionate, this is the Devil card. So the Devil card in this deck really talks about these passions that pull us forward, that pull us. And we don't always understand where they're coming from, but they are divinely guided. And we don't understand where these strings are coming from. He's having these musicians play. So these musicians are really engaged. They're engaging in music. They're engaging in something very, very sort of this otherworldly language. And And the devil is pulling the strings. And these are things that pull at us. These are passions. This can be a contract. That's a possible outcome here. We have some light. We have a book. We have passion, fire. It's like, it's reminding me of, you know, the story of tongues in the New Testament, of speaking in a way that we don't understand quite yet. So it's this thing that pulls at you where you don't really understand where it's going. You don't really understand what it's doing yet, but it's pulling at you. It's a passion. It's an instinct. I think we're seeing this instinct here. Go with your instincts. Go with your intuition, because it's pulling you into your passion, into a place. And this, I think, why it's bedevils us, because what is this? What's going on? Why am I suddenly being pulled in this new direction? We don't understand it. But it's passion, and it's this sort of otherworldly pull into a new space. So I'm seeing a lot of crossing a threshold, crossing over into a new space, into a new you, into a new passion, into a place that feels unfamiliar, and you're not quite sure why you're there, but you're there for a reason. And so this is one of the possible outcomes, is having your passion pull at you. So and this is so funny, because this is like almost two different readings with these cards. The sorting out, we have some connection with the sorting out of the mind and with wanting to communicate, and with looking at the past a little bit. But this is really pulling you forward out of where you've been, out of a battle. And there's just so much about transformation and moving forward, crossing a threshold, and following your passions and your intuition. I mean, both of these cards to me are following your intuition forward into sort of a new uncharted territory that you don't necessarily understand yet. All right, Aries, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and commenting, and helping my little itty bitty baby channel grow ever so much every week. I really appreciate it.